Welcome back to another one of our Ibanez 2021 videos. Today we are launching a gamut of videos with myself and Pete and Rabir across all the new models for 2021. And I believe Ibanez are doing a social media takeover of all the Andertons social channels. So
I feel that's how many guitars there are as well, 2021.
Something like that. So yes, if you're watching on the day of release, dive on over and join the Ibanez guys on our social channels. Ask them questions if you want to. I think they might have some guests coming on, all that malarkey.
Very exciting.
Anyway,
yes.
We're now looking at some of the Artstar and Artcore models that Ibanez are releasing in 2021. They're a little bit more affordable.
Yes, yes sir.
Yes, sir. You may or may not have seen the 2000 series video that of some new sort of higher end guitars coming out.
Yep.
But these are all more like sort of the 500 sort of pound range.
£500 mark.
So why don't you start with that one, Mr. Pete?
We start with the AMH 90, which is a new construction. You might have heard the AM93, which has got a center block, which the tailpiece is mounted onto the guitar, where this now has got a floating tailpiece, which does this to the guitar.
And it's hollow.
And it's hollow. It's hollow, right, yeah. But it's got a tiny little...
It's got a piece of wood for the bridge to mount on.
For this to mount on, and then it's got a tiny, like
bracing,
that
isn't it?
Bracing that goes up through, so they can mount the pickups, which is the 58s on here as well as in all the other guitars. You've got the tri-sound switch, which Lee will explain, because he's got two of them over there. And then 3-rack selector switch. It's got a NATO maple neck with a ebony fingerboard, Makassa. And then the linden, which is a wood.
Which is a wood. It's wood. It comes from trees. Yeah. It grows in the ground. And
it comes up of the ground. And
when you on the outside.
Anyway, so here's some tone from the neck pickup really quick. You can hear that every brass.
I like it.
You can definitely hear it's a semi-hollow, and it's got that ring.
Totally hollow.
Totally hollow, yeah. I keep saying semi-hollow. It's because he's got that bracing on the top there.
Yeah.
And it just confuses the shit out of me. Here is the middle position. Here is the bridge. That's very pokey.
It's very pokey.
For a hollow guitar. What does it do with the Dane? That's what a hollow guitar does. Here's the neck. Very fat. Middle, and then we're done. Oh, nice! And of course, you've got on the neck pickup. You can do this. I'll just do it really quickly, man. Now I'm here. Okay, so just really quickly, here is the full-size humbucker, the full fat humbucker. Here it is in the middle position, the tri. Single coil, and here is the series, right? Parallel. Anyway, Lee's going to explain about that right now with his delicious guitar with loads of pole binding in the violin.
This is an AR520 Artstar range. So Artstar is more of the, I guess, the traditional looking, big G styly guitars maybe, and Artcore are the semi-solid and the hollow ranges.
Yeah.
This is called the AR520. It's basically a semi-solid version of the AR420. So if you look in the Ibanez range, there's a version of this with no F-hole that's completely solid. I suppose just to clarify what we're talking about when we talk about hollow, semi-hollow, hollow and solid, what we mean is solid is where the whole guitar is made of a chunk of wood.
Yeah. Or 2 chunks of wood.
Semi-hollow is typically when we're talking about where underneath the pickups through the middle here is a solid piece of wood, and maybe the wings, either one side or both sides, are hollow. So I'm thinking like a thin line telly, for example, where only one side is hollow, or a 335 where both sides are hollow, but in both cases the center block is, the center of the guitar is always solid. And then full hollow is when the pickups are literally mounted to just the top and it's completely hollow underneath. That's kind of what we're saying. So here we go with a semi-solid AR520. We have the Super 58 pickups. It's very, you know, Big G inspired. So we've got the 24 3/4 inch scale length. We've got an Akume body, which is a sort of mahogany derivative. Maple, Akume Matata. Maple top here, flame maple top. We have got a piece of wood for the fretboard called Jatoba.
Yeah. Who comes up with these things?
All I said was that this piece of fish was good enough for Jatoba. We've got normal tuners, an angled back headstock. So you can see what we're doing here. Some of the things that are very Ibanez-y are this sort of cloud-shaped tailpiece, which I kind of like, screwed onto the body. That I've seen on Ibanez guitars going back for a long, long time. It's quite a visual Ibanez-y thing. Super 58s, which are the sort of the mid-output Alnico humbuckers, which I really like. And now, these tri-sound options for both pickups. So I'll tell you about those in a second. So here's the full fat neck humbucker. So, pretty typical set of sounds. I guess for me, the semi-hollow nature of this is more about reducing the weight than radically changing the tone. It's only when you go full hollow that I think the tone starts to change massively. Might change a bit, marginal.
You get a bit more air in it.
Bit air. Okay, so try sound. Okay, it's a 3-way switch, and we've got one for the neck pickup and one for the bridge pickup. On this guitar here, there was just one that did the overall guitar. And on the AS2000 series, it had one switch and it only did the neck pickup.
Yeah. No, this was just this one.
It's just the neck pickup as well.
Yeah, it's the same configuration as
I see. Okay, so all the way down is a full wired in series humbucker, normal humbucker. Okay, all the way in the middle, is now a split coil version of that.
Sounds good.
Big difference. And then up is what's called a parallel wiring of the 2 coils. So 3 tones. I would say the parallel and the split coil are closer sounding than the full humbucker. So the quick summary of what the switching is: a normal humbucker is 2 coils wired in series, meaning the sound goes into the first coil, out the first coil, into the second coil, and then out, and that's where you get that sort of slightly darker, fatter tone. Single coil is obviously just 1 coil. Parallel is the 2 coils, but where the sound is simultaneously picked up by the 2 coils. So imagine like a Telecaster where you're in the middle position, but just where the 2 coils are really, really close to each other. So you get some hum cancelling in parallel mode, but I don't think it sounds radically, radically different to the single coil mode. Here we go again, just so you can hear. This is on the neck pickup. That's single coil. That's parallel.
So I think it's the noise level that drops when you use the parallel, right?
Enough gain on here to maybe, you know, get a load of hum. So that's lots of gain on its single coil setting. Parallel. So you can see,
absolutely, that's what it's for.
You can see that, and again, I can do that on the bridge pickup as well. And in the middle position, of course, I've got the option of noodling around, doing whatever I want to do. Lots and lots and lots of tones. I actually really like this guitar. I'm kind of into that whole tritone thing.
It's a good looking guitar as well with the bindings.
Couple of different colours.
Yeah.
I think if you just want solid black, you can do that. You can save a little bit of money as well. It's about 5% cheaper. I
would take that. Violin burst.
Or you can do the flamey violin burst. But there we are. So that is the AR520. If you like this guitar, and I don't think we've done a video on it, the AR420 is a little bit cheaper. It's the non-F-hole version, but other than that, I think most of the specs are much the same. I think it's got a slightly different switching configuration, but yeah, that looked very, very cool as well. So there we are. So Pete, the final one in this 2021 lineup.
It's slightly different from the last one. This is the AF95, which, you know, I've got déjà vus in it because we did a video on the 2000 version of this earlier, and this is just a more affordable version made in Indonesia. Again with the 58 pickups. So the previous version of this, you might have seen, had like a flamey top on it, and it had a non-covered tailpiece.
More like this, I guess.
More like that there, yeah. So now it's got a covered tailpiece here. It's more of a, I would say, vintage, correct looking top. Because I don't think back then they would have, you know, vintage flamey tops on the guitars. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it was a thing then. And again, it's got this 3-piece neck here with NATO and maple. Again, Linden back and sides. Spruce top on this one. So you've got a walnut bridge here, which is a floating bridge, which means it just sits in nothing, or it sits on the top, because this is, of course, again, a hollow guitar. Anyway, rambling on. Let's hear what it sounds like.
Does that come with round wounds
These
or
are
flats?
flat wounds.
It's got flats on it as well, has it?
Listen.
It's proper jazzer.
Nothing.
Territory.
Nothing.
You don't have to, by the way, if it comes with flat wounds on it, you don't have to stick with that. You can change them for round wounds, same as you can change round wounds for flat wounds.
Yeah, it's just an interesting playing experience on these, because
they're slightly less bright, aren't they, flat wounds?
Yeah, so this is everything on full clean into the amp. It's just got this nice hollow. It's got that sort of, it's just a different experience. If you use a pick on it. Middle, you can roll down the tone, but I mean.
We need one of those polytone brutes, don't we, for big thumpy jazz?
Yeah. Anyway, something like that. Middle position. Nice.
Yeah.
Bridge. Of course, again, you can mix your. You know, you can mix your tone controls with that. That's a big thing with these guitars, is that you use your tone controls and your volumes and stuff. Here's the neck. Sorry, the bridge. You know, it sounds really good. Anyway, these are about £500, $499. I think
most of these guitars are all sitting in that rough
which
bubble,
is an amazing value for money, if you ask me. The knobs are these kind of same knobs with the rubbery dinking on. That's the other one the expensive guitars has. So, yeah,
that's quite interesting, isn't it? All the way through this range, every time we're seeing Super 58s.
Yeah,
they are as far as we can see, it's the same Super 58 pickup on the £2,000 2000 series models as appears to be on a lot of these sort of mid-price or low to mid-price
and I like
models. Anyway, look,
and I like to keep it simple here, no pussy-pulley stuff. Anyway,
come on,
we've got to keep going. These videos to do, so we shall see you later. Links below. please subscribe.
Yeah.
And if this is your first video you watch, please hit the notification because we are going to put loads of video out during this day.
And it'll be a mix. I think there'll be Rabir will be in some of the videos, and myself and Pete will be in some of the videos. So, and it's covering everything from the sort of the baritone, genty kind of stuff through to the jazzy stuff. So, and some acoustics as well.
Yeah.
Hey, happy Ibanez Day. Bye-bye.